Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on June 4th, 2019 to talk about everything that did go down on tonight's Smackdown Live. I think, if you ask me, well, what did you think of the show? Of course, you can get the questions ready in the chat and whatnot. I thought it was all right. There was nothing special that happened on tonight's show. There was nothing too interesting, to be honest. One thing of note is we do now know that Alexa Bliss has been cleared to return to in-ring competition since she will be challenging Bayley for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship at Stomping Grounds. I almost said Battleground for some reason. So that's a good sign that she's been cleared. I think the injury was not 100% confirmed, but it was likely that she had suffered another concussion. So either maybe it wasn't a concussion or something, because if it was, I would have assumed they would have kept her out of action longer than they actually did. So that's good to see that Alexa Bliss is good. She can get back in the ring. She actually won the match tonight to become the number one contender, and we'll talk about that more when it does come up, because I got some things to say about how she was a little baby-face-ish last night on Raw, but then tonight she was just super-duper heel, so with that, let's see who's with us in the live chat right now. We do have Kristen McNutt, Jacob Carroll, Joe Decker, Luke Might, Wayne Montgomery. We've got Oscar Strange Rodriguez, Legendary Howard, my bad, Woken King Slender. So, tonight's SmackDown. So we learned a couple hours before SmackDown of one match that was going to be taking place. We knew of 3 segments, but one match, and that would be the New Day going up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And so, New Day comes out to open up the show. Come down, Kofi's got the pancakes, Xavier's got the trombone, and Kingston noted that life is full of surprises. He thought that after 11 years, he had seen and done it all. Fans then broke out into a Kofi chant. He talked about winning the WWE title at WrestleMania, saying that was an amazing moment for him, but more importantly, he wants to and gets to inspire people. They then aired a video package of him going back to his home country of Ghana, West Africa. He got a hero's welcome and got treated like he was a big deal star, which, New Day has always been, very popular, so makes sense. Great video package. Kingston was emotional watching this back and trying to talk about it, saying that returning to Ghana was something that he actually hadn't done in, I think he said 26 years he hasn't been back there. He said it's all about the look in the kids' eyes when they come up to him. He says it's a great feeling to tell a child that looks like him that they can do anything they want. He was very emotional, like I said, talking about this and his family. Dolph Ziggler would then come out and interrupt, saying that all of this that Kofi Kingston's been getting should really have been his. He then went on to state that, Kofi lucked into all of this. They then aired a video package showing all the different championships and career highlights that Dolph Ziggler has had. Winning the World Heavyweight Championship after winning Money in the Bank, winning the IC title, winning tag titles, winning the US title, all those different things. And Kofi said, I know about your accomplishments. I mean, heck, first time you were Intercontinental Champion, you beat me. First time you were United States Champion, you beat me. He said, but I'm WWE Champion, and that's one thing you haven't won. Kofi said, and there was something that you didn't show in that video, and this is when the whole realism aspect of this just thrown out the window, because Kofi came out thinking he was getting ready for a match. Didn't think Dolph was going to come out and show a video highlighting his career, but no. Kofi had a video already all lined up of his own. He just said, roll the footage, and it was of Dolph Ziggler on December 19th, 2017, when he basically just left the United States Championship in the ring, gave it up, and walked out of the company. So it's like, yeah, way too... I hate when they do stuff like that, because then it just shows you how overly scripted everything is. When you're supposed to think that this is all on the fly, just happening kind of stuff. Kingston said that it should have been about Ziggler, but Ziggler never really pushed himself far enough. He said when things got tough, Ziggler walked away. Kingston said that he never quit, no matter how tough things ever got. Fans then broke out into yet another Kofi chant. Kingston then promised to defeat Dolph Ziggler at Super Showdown and said that this is the one title that Dolph will not be taking from him. Ziggler then pointed at the screen. A video aired of Ziggler attacking Kingston 2 weeks ago, and Ziggler said on a Friday it will be him walking off with the title. So as Dolph walked out, went backstage, out came Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The New Day had the early advantage after Kingston took over with a dropkick on Sami. The heels tried to regroup on the floor, but Kingston took over and took Owens out with a dive. The heels then isolated Xavier Woods on their side of the ring. Ziggler was backstage watching on a monitor. After a commercial break, Owens placed Woods on the top turnbuckle. He fought back and nailed Owens with a missile dropkick. Kingston got the hot tag and ran wild on the heels. He hit a boom drop on Sami Zayn and then set him up for the Trouble in Paradise. Owens grabbed his leg, but Woods took him out. Kingston then nailed the Trouble in Paradise and pinned Sami Zayn, which is the right move. Sami can take the loss. It's not going to hurt him any. You keep Kevin Owens looking still good because he didn't technically get pinned, and the WWE Champion gets a big victory leading up to his title defense. After the match, surprise to behold, Dolph Ziggler attacks Kofi Kingston from behind yet again, hits him with a super kick, and then he nails Woods with a super kick. So we then go backstage and you see Shane McMahon. He discussed beating Roman Reigns down last night on Monday Night Raw. McMahon then promised to call Reigns out later tonight. We then got a Moment of Bliss special segment with the wild card rule intact with Alexa Bliss coming over to Smackdown. Alexa Bliss came out as the host. She pointed out that it was the first time that a Moment of Bliss is on the blue brand. She said that she's from the Superior brand. This didn't really get much of a reaction from the crowd. And it's like last night, the stuff that she did with Nikki Cross, yeah, she was sort of a heel, but came off more like a babyface. Tonight, super heel, especially the stuff with Bayley. So Bayley comes out. And Bliss took a sip of her coffee and complained about it. Sent some worker, whatever, stagehand to get her a new cup of coffee. Bayley then wondered if Bliss was going to ask her any questions. So she goes, yeah, I will when I get my coffee. She said the last time the title meant anything was when she was the champion. She knows what it's like to cash in the same night as winning Money in the Bank. And Bayley was about to talk. And she goes, wait. I think my coffee's coming. Just hold on. And the backstage worker came out with new coffee, but Bayley slapped it out of her hands, and they got in each other's faces. This would then bring out Carmella, who was also won Money in the Bank and cashed in successfully. She said, you can't talk about being a SmackDown Live Women's Champion and winning Money in the Bank without talking about me. The three women started bickering before Charlotte Flair would then come out and announce a big triple threat match for later in the night. She stated that later tonight, someone will be crowned number one contender for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. In the match will be Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair. She said the winner will receive a title shot at the next pay-per-view, Stomping Grounds. So then all of a sudden, it just cuts backstage. And R-Truth approaches Carmella. He said he can't handle having to defend the 24/7 championship all the time. Truth said he's been calling Shane McMahon, but hasn't heard back from him. McMahon then all of a sudden called Carmella's phone. Truth got on the phone and said this is ruining his life. He needs some help. And Shane said, you know what? You're going to have a match. And it's going to be a regular match, sort of. You're going to defend your title. And your opponent's on his way out to the ring. So Carmella took the phone back and Truth ran to the ring. We then learned that it was Elias who will be the opponent for R-Truth. So this ended up actually being a lumberjack match with the 24/7 title on the line. And they did state that while the match itself is going on, only Elias and R-Truth can battle for the belt. Nobody else, as far as any of the lumberjacks, can try to jump in the ring and pin R-Truth to win the title. And I kind of liked that. I kind of liked it because it made things to where it wasn't going to be extra convoluted as far as they're wrestling and also just randomly like a Matt Hardy jumps in the ring to try to pin him. I liked that they were like, you guys are the Lumberjacks. You can't try to win the title, but only during the match. So, match doesn't go that long at all. Basically, Elias just takes him out, throws him out of the ring. Lumberjacks throw him back in the ring. Elias rolls him up. 1, 2, 3, boom. Elias, for the second time, has won the 24/7 championship. And then the announcers let us know that the bell is rung. The match is over. 24/7 rule back in play. Anybody can go after Elias. So Elias starts running around. He eventually breaks out of a brawl, and he crawls under the ring. R-Truth then follows him under the ring, and then the bell rings. The referee was under there as well, and I guess R-Truth pinned Elias to get the title back because R-Truth is the one that came out with the belt. So, R-Truth did lose the title, but he won it right back. We've seen that I don't know how many times now. Lose it, win it right back. Probably like the third or fourth time. So, in the back, Aleister Black cut another one of his promos that really is leading to nowhere. Black noted that last week he issued an open challenge. Nobody has accepted the challenge. Black promises to wait patiently for someone to be a man and pick a fight with him. Wait patiently means they ain't got no plans for me. I'm just sitting doing nothing. With that, Shane McMahon then came down to the ring and flanked by the Revival. Tom Phillips noted that the Revival count as 1 in the wildcard rule because tag teams count as 1. So McMahon made Greg Hamilton do the best in the world entrance. And the crowd slightly started to chant for CM Punk. McMahon thanked Revival for the emotional support that they provided him on Raw and tonight on SmackDown. He then showed footage of him spearing Roman Reigns last night on Raw. He compared Reigns to a dog and promised to neuter the big dog at Super Showdown. This then brought out Roman Reigns. He made his way down to the ring. The Revival ran at him, but were met on the ramp, and he quickly fought off the Revival. McMahon waited for him in the ring. Suddenly, Drew McIntyre hit the Claymore kick on Reigns before he could enter the ring. McMahon gave Reigns a spear and mocked him doing the ooh-ah deal once again. And that was it. So that's the go-home segment for Shane versus Roman. I don't know if the Revival is going to be also in Shane's corner, but I would assume McIntyre would be. So then we got a triple threat match, winner going on to Stomping Grounds to challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So Bliss used a sunset flip bomb on Flair early for a near fall. Like I said, this confirms that she's been cleared to get back in the ring, as she did quite a bit tonight and will be facing Bayley one-on-one. Carmella rolled up Flair for a 2. Bliss then rocked her with a forearm. Flair took out Bliss with a big boot, but Carmella caught Flair with a super kick. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville then made their way down to ringside. Carmella was distracted by them, and Bliss sent Carmella into the barricade. After commercial break, Carmella and Flair fought on the top turnbuckle. Flair attempted a powerbomb, but Carmella hit a Hurricane Rana for a near fall. Carmella then hit the Bronco Buster on Alexa Bliss. Flair then put Carmella in the figure 8, and as she bridged up, Alexa Bliss came off the top rope with a twisted Bliss right on top of Charlotte. Only got a 2 count. Flair then hit the natural selection on Bliss, but Carmella broke up a pin attempt. Carmella then rocked Flair with a super kick, but Rose and Deville then pulled Carmella out of the ring. This then led to Bliss back in the ring. Bliss then caught Carmella with a DDT. So I take that back. They didn't quite pull Carmella out of the ring. They tried to. Then Alexa Bliss caught her and hit her with a DDT. Joe Decker says, Tim couldn't Black go to Raw? He could if he wants to be away from his wife, but typically they like to keep, for the most part, at least married couples together. And since his wife, Zelina Vega, is part of the act with Andrade, Andrade's on SmackDown, which is the better decision. And so if he wants to be on the road with his wife, then he stays on SmackDown. Yeah, he can go back to Raw. He can go over to Raw if he wanted, I guess. But I would assume he wants to be with his wife. So with Alexa Bliss winning, a Raw superstar will be challenging for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship at Stomping Grounds. So then we got the Lars Sullivan exclusive interview. In the ring, Kayla Braxton introduced Lars for his quote-unquote exclusive interview. I don't know why they got to keep calling it exclusive. What is it, a SmackDown interview and they're afraid Raw's going to scoop them? So they got to get the exclusive? I don't know. So they pushed that Braxton is nervous about conducting this interview. Sullivan has come to realize that he's no man. Sullivan said his whole life, there's one word people would use to describe him. He asked Braxton if she knew what that was. He told her to say it. And she reluctantly said, freak? Sullivan said his primary function is to show the world it isn't all rainbows and sunshine. It's to show the world pain. Braxton asked about taking on Lucha House Party at Super Showdown. Sullivan recited the 3 Blind Mice poem. Then it turned into violence at the end, though. Braxton was disgusted and walked off. So then going forward, we were supposed to get, or at least it looked like we were going to get, Andrade versus Apollo Crews. Andrade jumped Crews before the bell and hit the hammerlock DDT. Match actually never happened when Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor would run down and attack Andrade. Zelina Vega distracted Finn Balor. Andrade gained the upper hand and took out Balor with a hammerlock DDT. Now, usually when somebody in the go-home segment before the pay-per-view gets the upper hand, they're not winning. But we already know that Andrade's not winning because they're telling us that this is the demon, Finn Balor, that's going to be at Super Showdown. So then they recap The Undertaker's comments from Raw last night against Bill Goldberg, and this brought out Goldberg. So Goldberg came out. They did the classic entrance with the security walking from the locker room. Goldberg came out to huge reaction from the crowd here in Laredo. He broke into a huge Goldberg chant. He thanked the fans but said that it's time to get to business. Goldberg said that he's waited 20 years to know what it's like to go face-to-face, one-on-one with The Undertaker in the ring. Goldberg pointed out that Undertaker didn't want family man Goldberg. He wants the ass-kicker Goldberg that went 173-0. And he said, Undertaker, you're right. He doesn't want the family man near The Undertaker either. He left that at home. Well, actually, he said he left his ass at home. Fans then broke out into an even bigger Goldberg chant. Goldberg then promised that Friday night, Undertaker would get an ass-kicking. Goldberg get the ass-kicking that he wants from Goldberg. Goldberg said, The Undertaker, you're next to rest in peace. Undertaker's gong hits and the lights go out. When they come back on, Undertaker was in the ring standing behind Goldberg. They went face-to-face briefly. Fans just went absolutely insane. Lights go out. Come back on. Undertaker's gone. Goldberg stood in the ring alone for a moment before walking to the back. There's still 3 minutes left in the show. You would think this was the final moment of the show. And then it's like, uh-oh. Like, I don't know if this is what happened, but to me, it felt like the Goldberg segment got rushed. And then they're like, 3 minutes. Super Showdown card and tonight recap. Go with it. And so they had 3 minutes to fill. But with that was SmackDown. I'm looking in the chat here. Arian Banks says Sting can't wrestle anymore. Not that he can't wrestle anymore. There is a chance he can if he gets neck surgery. But there's also a chance that if he gets the surgery, it can make him worse. So I don't think he wants to take that risk. That's the whole thing. There's ways where he can get better and wrestle again. But there's also risks that come with that as well. So, I mean, he's done it all. I don't think there's really much more that he needs to do and has to prove unless he wants that match with The Undertaker. That's really the only thing. The only thing that he didn't do in his career that he had said that he would like to do was take on The Undertaker. So, yeah. With that now, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Smackdown Live. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the text messages. And let me know if you want to call in. You can text at 510-906-1341. You can also call in at 559-475-8473. So with that, just looking at the live chat right now, seeing what you guys are talking about. This versus Sting is too old. How old is Sting per se? I want to Sting age. Let's see really fast. 60. No, wrong Sting. Sting wrestler age 60. I mean, Ric Flair went into his 60s and wrestled. And Sting's in way better shape than Flair was. So I don't know if you can say he's too old. We'll see how it goes. But again, if you do want to call in, you can do so at 559-475-8473. You can text in your thoughts, questions, comments at 510-906-1341. And with that, let's take our first call of the night. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim. How's it going?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I have a question.
Go for it.
This is about Super Showdown, like the Battle Royal.
Uh-huh.
Why didn't they? This one's about Super Showdown, like the Battle Royal.
Right.
And why don't they have, like, the superstars, like, actually announce, like, if they're going to be in the Battle Royal, like what they do with the Royal Rumble and the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
To be honest, I think because this Battle Royal doesn't really matter. There's no stakes, no, winner doesn't get anything that we know of. So it honestly doesn't matter. There's 50 people. So with it being 50, it's like if you don't have a singles match or a tag match, which I don't think there are any tag matches on this show, if you don't have a singles match, you're in the Battle Royal. So you don't have to say, I'm going to be in the Battle Royal. I know they have announced a couple guys for it, but it's not needed for this because you just know a lot of people are going to be in it, and then there's going to be surprises from NXT and probably NXT UK. So I don't even know how the match is going to go. It's going to be a mess.
Yeah, like usually when WWE has like those kind of like matches, like what they did with the Greatest Royal Rumble, the World Cup, those matches don't really matter because
right.
those superstars will just say, "Hey, I won the match, man. You're done."
Very true.
And I also got one more thing.
Go for it.
When will the Iconics actually defend their women's tag team titles? Because they haven't defended the titles ever since they won those titles at WrestleMania.
To be honest, your guess is as good as mine.
Like, I mean, you got Asuka and Kairi Sane as a team now. A lot of people thought they were going to go after the title as soon as they were
the only
the
thing.
team, but
Sorry to cut you off. I think the only thing I can think of is they're not defending them this weekend at Super Showdown, so maybe they'll announce the Kabuki Warriors challenging at Stomping Ground in a couple weeks.
True. I mean, it's quite obvious why they're not going to defend them at Super Showdown because women aren't allowed to fight in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
So, I mean, it would make sense at Stomping Ground to defend the titles. Or they could do like a number one contenders match. Like have them face like.
Well, I mean, honestly, after last night's Raw, I thought maybe they would go Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, but now Alexa Bliss is challenging for the SmackDown Women's title, so that's not happening.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. So
right.
Have a great night.
Thanks for the call and have a great night. So I was looking at the text messages here. This person says, with Daniel Bryan not wanting to go last year to the show in Saudi Arabia, is Daniel Bryan and Rowan going this year? Who are the people not going to Super Showdown? So I don't know if they're going. I don't think they are. Rowan can go, but I don't think Bryan wants to go. Excuse me. I know Sami Zayn can't go because of the issues with Syria and Saudi Arabia and Sami Zayn's Syrian descent. Aleister Black's not going because apparently his religious tattoos may offend people in Saudi Arabia. Of course, we believe Daniel Bryan's not going, and we've heard that Kevin Owens has expressed not wanting to go, and they told him he doesn't have to go either. So those 4 names for sure we know are not going. This person says, how can SmackDown Live going to Fox? Wait, how can SmackDown Live going to moving to Fox? Okay, I don't even understand the question. I think they're asking, are they going to stop the 24/7 stuff on SmackDown when it moves to Fox when it's more sports and not comedy? And I mean, that's still July, August, September, October, 4 months away. We got to see how this 24/7 title does, mold over time. Hey, Tim, this person says, how's AJ Styles doing? I heard he is televised for Monday's Raw in Dallas on July 1st. Yeah, so AJ Styles is dealing with a back injury, or I don't know if it's considered an injury, but he's got a back issue, and he's not booked for anything going forward in the month of June. Again, if you guys want to call in and let me know what you thought of tonight's SmackDown or talk about anything else, WWE, AEW, tonight's New Japan show, you can do so by calling 559-475-8473. Before we get going, I do want to say, hey, if you guys want to be like some of the people you see here in the live chat with a badge next to your name, you can do so. If you want to use special emojis, if you want early access to some of our newer content or some even exclusive content, then become a member. On our page, hit join. And for $4.99 a month, you can support Pro Wrestling Unlimited as a member of this channel. Again, as a member, it gives you a badge next to your name in the comments and in live chats. It also gives you the exclusive rights to use our exclusive PWUnlimited emojis. This helps us tremendously because any kind of support that you guys can give us does go straight back to us and helps us continue to grow Pro Wrestling Unlimited into something even better than it already is. Again, if you're on our channel main page, if you're on just one of our videos, right there next to where it says subscribe, it's also going to say join. Click that. It'll tell you all the things that we're giving right now for members. More to come shortly. And it's only $4.99. It's only $5 a month, and every little bit does help. I do want to shout out Benjamin A., Wayne Montgomery, Kristen McNutt, and Jonathan Powell, who have become members of the Pro Wrestling Unlimited YouTube channel. Again, thank you guys for subscribing. Let's take a call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hi. I have a couple questions to ask.
Go for it.
The first question is, do you see Alexa Bliss winning at Super Showdown against Bayley?
That's a hard one to answer. I wouldn't think because she's a Raw superstar, but at the same time, I really could see them doing this because Bayley's last title reign wasn't that long, and I don't really see them having a lot of stock and faith in Bayley as opposed to Alexa Bliss. As far as I do see them they like to put more into Alexa Bliss than a lot of the other women, so I could see Alexa. I wouldn't be surprised if Alexa Bliss did win the title and then move over to SmackDown Live, but if it was me, I would keep it on Bayley.
Okay, and my second question is, do you see Seth Rollins losing his title when Brock Lesnar is going to cash in on Seth Rollins, or is Seth Rollins going to do, like the saying goes, killing two birds with one stone, beat the two people that we both hate, the WWE Universe hates?
Honestly, I would be surprised if Brock actually does the cash in. At this point, I'm not expecting it. I'm expecting Brock to show up and go, ha ha, I threw you off your game. I'm not cashing in again. Honestly, I would be more surprised if Brock cashes in than if he doesn't. Well, I'm not even expecting it at this point.
And one more question.
Sure.
Do you see Kofi holding the title until maybe Survivor Series, when maybe they might have Mustafa Ali win it at Survivor Series?
So I don't know about Mustafa Ali winning it, and I think Survivor Series may be a little long. I can see him holding it till maybe SummerSlam and losing it to somebody at SummerSlam. But I mean, the Kofi stuff's working. But I don't know. I honestly don't see him holding it that long.
And do you see him going against maybe like an Aleister Black or something?
That's tough because we don't know on SmackDown what Aleister Black is, babyface or heel. If Aleister Black is a heel, then yeah, I can see that. Maybe. I don't know if an Aleister Black is a Vince kind of guy that Vince would think to put against the world champion. But at the same time, I think he's coming off in these promos as a babyface. So really that wouldn't work anyways on a big show. You got to do heel versus babyface, not babyface versus babyface.
Okay, that's all my questions.
All right, thanks for the call and have a great night.
Okay, bye.
All right, so with that, just looking at the live chat here. Person here says, do you see Mandy Rose showing up on Raw to challenge Alexa Bliss for her number one contender spot? No. She's number one contender. She doesn't have to put it on the line. What is this? Mr. Kennedy being stupid enough to put his briefcase on the line and then losing to Edge and Edge becoming Mr. Money in the Bank after Kennedy won Money in the Bank at WrestleMania? No. I don't see that happening one bit. One bit at all. So just looking here, the text messages. Again, if you guys do want to call in and give me your thoughts on tonight's show, you can do so at 559-475-8473. Just reading through the live chat. This person here, Nubenko, says, do you think the Kabuki Warriors will come back to television? We haven't seen them in a while. It's only been like 2 weeks since they were off TV. And honestly, you don't need people on TV every single week. But yeah, they'll probably be back next week. I think they should be the next challengers for the women's tag titles. Steve Emblom with a great question. Shingo or Ospreay? This is hard. Because I want to say Ospreay. Because an Ospreay and Dragon Lee for the title over the weekend is going to be great. But I don't want him to beat Shingo. I don't think Shingo should be beat yet. So in that regard, I'm going Shingo. If I had to make a prediction right now, who's winning Best of the Super Juniors, I think you go Shingo. You can't end that undefeated streak yet. Chris McNutt says, Tim, is the rule for a title should be defended in 30. There's no hard and fast rule on that. It's not like there's a list of rules that say you have to follow and abide by all of this. WWE can do whatever they want. Fly by the seat of their pants. Sometimes they do if you can't defend in 30 days, you're going to drop the belt. But then we see Brock not show up for 70 days as the champion. So, Joe Decker says, iconic title against fake Bella. What? I have no clue what you're talking about, but fake Bellas. I have no clue. Daniel Maldonado says, dude, Ospreay for sure. I mean, I would like to see Ospreay win because I think Ospreay versus Dragon Lee would be a really good match. But like I said, I don't think you end that Shingo Takagi undefeated streak yet. I think you gotta keep that streak going. Plus, if you're unaware, tonight is the finals of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors. And let me get the start time for you, because this is going to be a noteworthy show. Hiroshi Tanahashi is returning to in-ring action, taking on Switchblade Jay White. Jon Moxley is having not only his New Japan Pro Wrestling debut, not only is it against Juice Robinson with the United States Championship on the line, but it's his first match at all since leaving WWE. Cloudy, I hope I said that right. Cloudy Wrestling says Mox or Juice. If they don't do Moxley, fucked up. It's got to be Moxley. Moxley has to win that belt, even if he wins it, just to lose it over the weekend at Dominion back to Juice or something. He has to win that belt tonight. So again, the show tonight does start at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. GMT. Again, tonight is the finals of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors. It is Shingo Takagi versus Will Ospreay. The United States Championship will be on the line when Juice Robinson defends against Jon Moxley. Excuse me. Hiroshi Tanahashi will be taking on Jay White, and Hiromu Takahashi has actually teased maybe coming back tonight, maybe making his big awaited return. We don't know what it is, but he teases something for tonight, June 5th. I can't wait. That show should be really, really good. We'll have the results up for you in the morning whenever that show does commence. Actually, crap. No. We'll figure it out. We'll have results for you sometime tomorrow. Most likely it'll probably come in the form on the website because I'm going to be very busy in the morning. Got some stuff with the kids. Since it's the end of the school year, got a bunch of awards ceremonies and celebrations and stuff with them. But with that, I want to say thank you to everybody who did join me here tonight to talk Smackdown Live. I want to thank everybody who was in the live chat, everybody who texted in, everybody who called in, and also everybody who watches later on, either right here on YouTube or listens audio version on either iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, and more. Me and Nick will be back tomorrow night for the WWE. No, it's not a WWE show. It's our show, PWUnlimited Wednesday show. We will be talking everything that takes place tonight at the Best of the Super Juniors finals. We'll be talking Super Showdown with our predictions. With that, thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow. Have a great night, guys.